Pride and Prejudice, romantic novel by Jane Austen, was published in 1813. A classic of English literature, written with incisive wit and superb character delineation. The novel opens with one of the most famous lines in English literature. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. The statement is seemingly what Mrs. Bennet thinks as she sets her sights on the newly arrived Bingley, who she is sure will make a suitable husband for one of her daughters. At the ball, Bingley takes an immediate interest in the beautiful and shy Jane. The encounter between his friend Darcy and Elizabeth is less cordial. During this time, Elizabeth encounters the charming Wickham. There is a mutual attraction between the two, and he informs her that Darcy has denied him his inheritance. After Bingley abruptly departs from London, Elizabeth's dislikes of Darcy mounts as she becomes convinced that he is discouraging Bingley's relationship with Jane. Darcy, however, has grown increasingly fond of Elizabeth, admiring her intelligence and vitality. While visiting the now married Charlotte, Elizabeth sees Darcy, who professes his love for her and proposes. A surprised Elizabeth refuses his offer, and when Darcy demands an explanation, she accuses him of breaking up Jane and Bingley and of denying Wickham his inheritance. Darcy subsequently writes Elizabeth a letter in which he explained that he separated the couple largely because he did not believe Jane's returned Bingley's affection. He also discloses that Wickham, after squandering his inheritance, tried to marry Darcy's then 15-year-old sister in an attempt to gain possession of her fortune. With these revelations, Elizabeth begins to see Darcy in a new light. Shortly thereafter, the youngest Bennet sister, Lydia, elopes with Wickham. The news is met with great alarm by Elizabeth, since the scandalous affair, which is unlikely to end in marriage, could ruin the reputation of the other Bennet sisters. When she tells Darcy, he persuades Wickham to marry Lydia, offering him money. Despite Darcy's attempt to keep his intervention a secret, Elizabeth learns of his actions. At the encouragement of Darcy, Bingley returns and he and Jane become engaged. Finally, Darcy proposes again to Elizabeth, who this time accepts. Pride and Prejudice is set in rural England at the turn of the 19th century, and it follows the Bennet family, which includes 5 different sisters. The eldest, Jane, is sweet-tempered and modest. She is her sister's Elizabeth confidant and friend. Elizabeth, the heroine of the novel, is intelligent and high-spirited. She shares her father's distaste for the conventional views of society. Darcy belongs to an aristocratic world. Initially seen as a self-centered and cold, he possesses the social graces of his society, but, like Elizabeth, is blinded by his pride and prejudice. Both Elizabeth and Darcy develop during the novel, acquiring understanding of each other, courageously overcoming the class divisions of their society as they learn to appreciate each other's true value. The central element of Pride and Prejudice is the development and happy ending of the story. Elizabeth and Darcy, who are portrayed not as an idealized couple, but as a woman and a man with their own real virtues and evident weaknesses. As in all Austen stories, the two lovers have to overcome a series of obstacles, the two most important of which are indicated by the title. Elizabeth has to overcome her pride, which initially makes her misjudge Darcy, and then reject his proposal on the basis of her personal prejudice towards him. Darcy has to overcome his own pride for his noble condition and subsequent prejudice. Only when the two manage to overcome their own pride and prejudice can they discover the truth about each other and get married.